Hello, my name is Tolg and I exist, therefore I think too much. So, there is something that I again do not know how to talk about too well. But Gen Z is kind of the starter of this. I think younger millennials probably started it, but Gen Z carried it to its nth degree of applying labels and everything needing to fit within a box. And I feel like Gen Z did it to such an extent that the labels lost their meaning. We kind of lost the plot on it. There are too many labels to things anymore. So, fine to identify what's going on, but identity is subjective per the person perceiving. Like, beauty is in the eye of the perceiver. Same with the other phrase, term. What is a rose? A rose by any other name would still smell as sweet. All of this to say, to label things is for a personal understanding. And Gen Z believed, from my understanding, Gen Z believed that the label was for the individual to fit, not as a general descriptor, but as a specific identifier. And that's why all of the subgenres to these labels were created. And I feel like it took away from freedom of expression. Having said that, there is, I don't know if it's considered gender or sexual identity. I want to say it's more sexual identity. With people dividing into groups of what type of interest they take in someone and how it is they look for a partner. And myself, I guess I'd be seen as demisexual. And I've talked about this with several people, but maybe it's, outside looking in. I don't know why that's not a normal thing. This description of demisexual, as I understand it, is you first and foremost fall in love with the personality. And it isn't to say that how someone looks isn't necessarily important, but that the personality, the brain, what was developed by the individual themselves matters more. I don't understand why that's not just generally normal. How can you dedicate yourself in any way, shape, or fashion to someone when all it is that you like about them is how they look, their aesthetic? There is a video I posted, and it was just, this guy was referencing the epidemic that the U.S. is currently facing of how many people are suffering from AIDS and sleeping around. And so we're seeing never before seen levels of AIDS in people. And he goes on to talk about one of the people in the video saying, this level of makeup, I can't tell if that's a guy or a girl. And women take note, this amount of makeup could make other people confused about whether you're a guy or a girl. And maybe that's, being raised on different religions, different morality. But if you're not having sex with someone, why the fuck do you care what's going on with them? Physically. And if you are having sex with them, that's a conversation to have. I would hope everybody is communicative about what they expect from a partner before going into it, as that's just generally respectful of yourself and your partner. And And I don't understand how people believe that you can maintain a relationship with someone on just the want to fuck them alone. There has to be more to a relationship. There is more to relationships than just someone's physicality. So why, from the start, are people only looking at the physicality? And why was it in more recent times seen as a negative trait to want conversation to identify the individual before getting into a relationship with them? It's seen as being too pushy, too troublesome, too standoffish. I think it's disrespectful to take someone for their physical only and not pay attention to the effort they put into their person. That could just be me. I don't think I'm alone in that, but I don't think I'm wrong in that either.